My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you're here, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and the grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. Today is the fourth Sunday of Advent, and we're only a few days away from Christmas. And these past weeks of Advent have been very much centered around Mary, the mother of Christ, for obvious reasons. She is the mother, and as we follow this preparation of the Holy Family for the coming of Jesus Christ, it is natural that our attention focuses on her. Also, because we have celebrated many beautiful feasts related to Our Lady, the Immaculate Conception, Our Lady of Loreto, Our Lady of Guadalupe. But there's also Joseph, who is very much at the center of this whole time of Advent, even though he goes unnoticed many times. A little bit in the background. Probably he likes it that way. He doesn't want to make much noise, but today's gospel reminds us of him and his role in the coming of Jesus. It tells us how when Mary, being betrothed to Joseph, but before they lived together, was found with child, Joseph, not knowing where this came from, not knowing what his role in this whole situation was supposed to be, feeling probably unsuited to be around Mary, decides to divorce her quietly. He decides to just leave, walk away from the wedding that was supposed to happen. But the angel comes to him. And in a dream, he tells him, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary, your wife, into your home. For it is through the Holy Spirit that this child has been conceived in her. And all of a sudden, Joseph realizes, I'm also part of this great plan that God has. I'm also part of Mary's life in a very special way, and also of Jesus. And we know well, because we know the rest of the story that is in the Gospels, how important Joseph was in the whole scheme of things. These times have also been centered, at least for some of us, around the Soccer World Cup. And if you have been watching some of the games, or at least following them, you might have noticed that many of those games went to penalty kicks. And of course, from the beginning, the whole World Cup and all these weeks have been very much centered around the superstars of the soccer world. Lionel Messi, right, for Argentina, Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal, or Mbappe for France. And these guys have like really kind of taking all the news pieces, and Neymar from Brazil as well. And of course, these guys deserve it. They are amazing players who do so much for their teams and score very flashy goals. But if you've been following these games of the World Cup, you might have realized that games are won by teams, not by individuals. Of course, the individual many times is the one that flashes, but Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, and Ronaldo, they need people around them. They need other good players that keep them in the mix. And in these previous games, especially the ones that went to penalty kicks, the hero many times ends up being the goalkeeper. And in many of these games, goalkeepers really stepped up and saved teams. Of course, they can't win the game in itself. They need others to score goals, but they keep the team in the mix. They keep the team alive and make it possible for the team to win the game and advance to the next stage. And so we have seen some of these goalkeepers shine during this World Cup. And we can think of Joseph. God forgive me if I'm doing something wrong here, but I guess we can compare St. Joseph a little bit with the goalkeeper. He is a bit the goalkeeper for the Holy Family. He is in the background, saving Jesus and Mary from difficult situations. And we will see how he brings Mary and to Bethlehem, how probably he's the one finding the stable so that they can spend a decent night and Jesus can come in a place where there is quiet and peace. We'll see him later on bringing the Holy Family to Egypt, right, and saving them from Herod, who wanted to kill the newborn baby. And he places a very important role. He keeps Mary and Jesus in the mix, right, for this great mission of our redemption to take place. And of course, we need to realize how important this all is. Even though he keeps it quiet, he doesn't make much noise, he goes unperceived many times. It is important that we appreciate what he's done for Jesus and for Mary, and that we have a place for him in our preparation for Christmas to thank him, obviously, for what he did. I'm sure Jesus was very grateful to his dad, also because then later on he taught him how to be a carpenter and how to work and all those different things that Joseph must have done for his son. So he was essential in his life. But also for us, it's important to look at Joseph as a great uh, example of life, as a great role model, especially, I guess, if you are a husband, if you are a father, you can definitely look up to Joseph and learn from him to be a good husband and father and ask him for his intercession and what relates to that. But also, as a professional, whether you're a man or a woman, um, learning to sanctify work through Joseph is essential. I mean, Jesus Christ learned from Joseph how to work. And we can imagine that many of his virtues in work and many of his sanctifying, his ordinary duties of every day, building beds and tables and chairs and doors and fixing stuff in people's homes, the way he dealt with people, the way he dealt with Mary, how he loved his wife and took care of her. All these things Jesus must have learned from Joseph and much more, of course. So it's a great thing that we look up to him, all of us, no matter what our situation in life is, that we look up to Joseph and we say, wow, this guy really knew how to deal with Jesus Christ. He knew how to work and sanctify his ordinary life. He knew how to live very united to Mary and Jesus. And that is obviously what we want to do during this time of Christmas that is coming up, to live it very close to Mary and especially to Jesus Christ, who came to the world to live among us, to save us, to give us back his life. So let us ask Joseph as we approach Christmas that he can help us prepare ourselves. Just like he prepared that first nativity scene, that stable, that was really not an ideal place for the Son of God to come to the world, but he must have prepared it as best as he could, made it look nice and comfortable for Mary and Jesus. Let us ask Joseph that he can also help us prepare our own hearts, our own homes, our lives, so that Jesus can come and feel very comfortable in our lives, bringing many gifts for us. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and inspirations that you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help to put them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.